Vanessa's a little frozen, but it's a good like expression. I think she would agree with everything I'm saying. She would also shout out her respective Mr. S.
Hello and welcome back to the channel and the series, of course. 2 weeks from when you're seeing this since our last song video. And let's see what things bring for 1966. If you haven't checked out the albums video, please do. They tend to perform better, so I assume you have. But if you haven't, go check it out. Um, as we did with the albums, Chris is going to go first, and then Vanessa, and then me to end it off, which feels very strange on my own channel. But yeah, Chris, what have you got for 1966? Any honorable mentions?
Yeah. First off, just want to honorably mention the Green Sweater Club. Really glad I could join this week. It's a real honor for you to have me on for that. But just a couple of honorable mentions. I mean, 10 songs, pretty good, pretty generous of you to allow me to pick 10. Um, just kind of right off the top, uh, Gordon Lightfoot, the first time ever I saw your face. Just think this is really beautiful. I don't know if it's one of the bigger hits on the record. I don't care. I thought it was one of my favorites. Just a gorgeous track and very sweet. Number 12, oh my God, Season of the Witch. I just love that song. I love the kind of the pick strum, and it's just got this eerie vibe, and it's very convincing as a fun kind of Halloween song. Um, and then I have the last honorable mention I'll shout out is You Just Keep Me Hanging On by the Supremes, which I really like. And a little bit more than You Can't Hurry Love. I think Phil Collins just kind of ruined that one for me. So, okay, getting into the real list. This is my actual 10. Those are all fine, but you can listen to those later after you're done checking out my. Wait till you hear these though. Okay, number 10. Hopefully I get some supporters of this one. I'm going With a Girl Like You by the Troggs. Um, the song is awesome. The Troggs most famous for Wild Thing, I guess, and this song is way better. Uh, as soon as you hear it, you'll know it, and it's just so much fun. It's like a perfect pop song. So I love it. It's infectious. It's With a Girl Like You. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. Number 9, I'm going. It feels low, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do it to you. It feels low, but there's so many good songs from this year. You'll understand. Um, Number 9 is Cigarettes and Coffee by Otis Redding. And this is just a great track. This is actually the only version I'm familiar with. So I guess I have to go check out the original. But Otis really sells the scene here of just kind of staying up late or being up really early, but I think staying up late, just imagining your life with your lover, just over some, coffee and cigarettes, that's the word. Just kind of this, it's just very poignant and just imagining your entire life with your love and like kind of a why not moment. And it's just beautiful. Cigarettes and coffee. Yeah, it's what you want from Otis Redding. Um, let's see. My number 8 is 8 Miles High by the Byrds. Yeah. Oh man, this is rad. This is definitely the best song on the album. And if you don't know this record or if you don't care about the Byrds, at least check this song out. It is so much fun and it's really great. I love the energy and there's a great stretch of this whole record, but that's really the highlight for me. Is 8 Miles High. So it's number 8. Yeah, that works out. Number 7, I'm going with California Dreamin' by the Mamas and Papas. Yeah, I don't care. I love this song. It's a classic. It kind of reminds me of when I first started dating my wife. We kind of bonded over some random music, and this was one of the songs. So I tried to learn it quickly on guitar to impress her and impress myself. I love this song. I love it more than I love Los Angeles proper. Which frankly, I kind of interpret it now as kind of like a grass is always greener kind of vibe. Like I don't know if they're actually I don't know how I feel about the sincerity, but that kind of adds to it for me. And anyway, I love this song. That's great. Um, number six, number six, I'm going Break Down and Let It All Out by the great Nina Simone. Yeah, so this album has so many good songs, and I know For Women, I know Lilac Wine, the title track, I get it, but when she hits you with the breakdown and let it all out, I do in fact want to let it all out. Thank you, Mama Nina, Mama Simone, as it were. Okay, number five, I couldn't go a full list without mentioning. I'm gonna go "I Want You" by Bob Dylan. Um, this is probably my favorite on this record, and it's so weird. It's such a weird song, and I don't know why it works, but it's so good. Um, the whole album is kind of weird, but this track really draws you in with this like just increasingly wacky cast of characters that he's just talking about, and they're mad, or even worse, they're disappointed, and trying to keep him away, but he can't because he wants you. And I love this song. So I'm going that number five. Number four, we're gonna hit it with "Sunny Afternoon" by Kinks. Yeah, kind of a probably expected pick, but I love the kind of like walk down intro, the doom 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 doom, and it really brings you into these like kind of sardonic lyrics about some rich guy who feels crippled by the government, and yeah, some rich British asshole, being taxed like they deserve. But I think beyond the kind of tongue-in-cheekness of the progressive tax that was being introduced in the '60s in Britain, you kind of get this relational thing where it's like, yeah, sometimes all you have is a sunny afternoon, and you don't have to be a wealthy taxed person to appreciate that. So sunny afternoon, it's an all-timer. Yeah. Number three, I'm going with "I Am a Rock" by Simon and Garfunkel. Okay, I know. Look, I picked the other album. All right, I picked Parsley Sage, Parsley, what oregano, whatever. I picked that one. And I know that's not from. I know this is not on that record, but listen, this song is poetry perfected in song. It really is. And I remember the first time I heard this song, it was in seventh grade. My a teacher's aide in seventh grade lit class, Mr. S, shout out. I don't know where he went, but anyway, he's not watching this probably. But if he is, I remember you, and he wanted us to like pay attention to the lyrics and the structure of the song, and I was like, I was into like Judas Priest and Molly Crew and stuff like that then, but I was moved by "I Am a Rock," and it's still kind of um, it still brings me there. So I'm going "I Am a Rock" number three. Shout out, Mr. S. Vanessa's a little frozen, but it's a good like expression. I think she would agree with everything I'm saying. She would also shout out her respective Mr. S. Number two, I'm going with the top two again, right? It's tough. It's tough. You get one. You get one per artist, Tom. These are your rules. It's my burden. My cross to bear. Number two, though, I'm going with "Tomorrow Never Knows." Uh, ooh, yeah, I love the kind of psychedelic whimsy of this song, and screeching guitars. Ringo actually like doing some work with this drum groove, and just an incredible song to close out a great record. So it's probably my favorite of this record. It's just a really cool way to end it and close it all out. I think it's perfect in the context of the record, and as a standalone track, it's fun, it's wild. And number one, I had to go with "God Only Knows." I just had to. I know, but I know what you're gonna say. But listen, you gotta just listen to it with some good headphones, good speakers. it's just a perfect song. It really is. There's an appropriate amount of ba ba ba, and harmonies. It's not like overbearing. The lyrics are great, just beautiful, and the all the performances, all the instrumentation, all the orchestration, everything about it just is that of a perfect pop song. And God only knows what I'd be without it and without you, Tom. So that's my list.
What about Vanessa?
1966.
What's Vanessa done
Oh
well?
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm
with
just kidding.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Tom, you can't call me out like that, man. That's okay. That's 1966. That's my list.
Good list. Good list.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I have 5 honorable mentions. I had a hard time, but it was made a little easier by our rules, where I don't know if the audience knows, but we have to pick songs that appear on albums of the year that we're covering. So if they're released as a single in another year, then that doesn't count. So
Yeah, and
well,
we are allowed non-album singles. I should clarify as well.
yeah. But I did lose a few to little that little caveat. January albums, damn it. But I still found plenty. My honorable mentions are the Kinks in Sunny Afternoon, Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence, the Walker Brothers with The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore, and the Rolling Stones with Mother's Little Helper, and the Mothers of Invention with Who Are the Brain Police, which is just wacky album. Love it. So number 10, kind of an obscure pick. I don't know if anybody's going to actually know the song, but I couldn't not pick it. It's called Nothin, and it's by the Ugly Ducklings. They are a Canadian garage rock group. And really know it because my dad saw them live when he was in high school, but it's not like so obscure that other people don't know it. Like it's been reissued many times. It's just this nugget of just a perfect garage rock song. It gets stuck in your head. It just never lets go. I actually took it off the list a few times because I'm like, nobody's going to know the song. Why should this be here? How can I justify this? But no, every time I heard it, I was like, no, this has to be on my list. So there it is. Check it out if you haven't, which I'm sure you haven't. So. But number 9 is one that more people will know. It's Uptight, Everything's All Right by Stevie Wonder. Last year, I listened to Stevie's entire discography. And this song is really the moment where things start to come together for Stevie. Like before that, it's a little questionable. But this song is just fantastic. It's an uplifting song that puts a smile on my face right from the opening horn section. It's fantastic. Can't help but feel optimistic for the whole 3 minutes listening to Stevie's passionate vocal performance. It's just great. Number 8 is a song that has not been ruined by Phil Collins for me, and it is You Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes. All-time classic song that I've probably loved my entire life. It's infectious and undeniable sing-along. Diana Ross's vocals on here are stellar, and I think that the gospel elements of it go a long way to elevate this song. And it's hard to say much about it other than that it's great. And I don't like Phil Collins's version, but I'm not going to let him bring it down for me. And at number 7, which I should have put this at number 8, this is poor planning, but 8 Miles High is my number 7. It just has such a cool sound with the early psychedelic elements, and it's also still retaining the Byrds' melodic sensibilities. It captures the wonder of flying very well, which is probably why people often think it's about drugs, but it's just about flying in a plane. I love the guitar solos. I just think it has a really, really, really cool sound. Number 6 is my Otis Redding pick with Just One More Day. I love this song. Love this song. I just love his passionate vocals on this song. It's just such an amazing way to open the album. It's such an absolutely heart-wrenching song, and it makes me feel like I have a broken heart every time I hear it, but that's okay. He does such a great job. I don't mind. The musical accompaniment is super effective at working with his vocal performance. Every little touch is perfect, especially those little bursts of horns and how the song builds to its conclusion at the end. It's just top notch, but still only number 6. Number 5 is Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave. Just another all-time great song. It wastes no time getting to the point. It's right from the first note. You're all in. Both Booker T and the MGs in the marquee horn section were on it. I didn't realize that until I was looking up a little more about the song. And it shows because the musical arrangement on this song is just impeccable. And Sam and Dave, they're great too, obviously. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're amazing. And this is just one of those songs that you crank up in the car on a sunny day and just have no cares in the world. Number 4 is I Want You by Bob Dylan. Just an absolutely gorgeous song. I love how it sounds, and it's been stuck in my head constantly the last 2 weeks, along with my big medley of 66 songs. It was super tough to pick a favorite from this album, but this one stands out, I still think, among all the others. I like that it's a little more upbeat vocal performance and kind of a bouncy accompaniment, but it really works really well. And I think just the organ is so great here, but everything is. Like when you really sit down and listen to all the little elements to it, it's just fantastic. And my number 3, no one has mentioned this banger. 7 and 7 is by Love. It's just a fantastic song. Like I said, absolute banger. So much great energy. Love the pulsating rhythm. It's just also really cool how at the end everything kind of stops with that explosion sound, and then it just has that little slower instrumental section. It's just such a cool touch, and it's just always been a favorite, this song. And number 2 is my Beatles pick with For No One. Picking a favorite from Revolver, it's not an easy task, but I always gravitate towards this one. I love the Baroque sound and the melancholy tone to it. The French horn is cool. Just an absolutely beautiful song. Stands out for me on the album, chock full of standouts, basically. The entire album's a standout, but this one just a little bit more. And it's hard to talk about. Like, it's just so great. Like, what do you even say about it? So that's my number 2, For No One. And of course, my number 1 is God Only Knows. Because God only knows I can't pick any other song. Almost at a loss of what to say here. I listened to it like 4 times in a row trying to write something. It was just like, I don't even know how to do it justice. The Beach Boys always knew how to make an utterly gorgeous and enduring pop song, and they do that here. I love everything about the way the song sounds and how everything comes together to make this the perfect package. And it's so hard to really come up with much else to say about it. It's considered one of the all-time greats for a reason. So, but will we all think so?
A lot of pressure on me. That's 3 potential trifectas, right? With 8 Miles High. What was the other one? I Want You. Okay. We'll see how many of those I have. Honorable mentions. This is kind of me setting the scene of this year. So my number, if you remember in the 65 songs video, my 9 and 10 were Rolling Stones and Lovin' Spoonful. I have those artists again, but songs that I like more than the songs that made my list last year don't make my list, which sucks. Under My Thumb by the Rolling Stones, which has always been one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs, and Full Measure by the Lovin' Spoonful, which is a great deep cut on Hums of the Lovin' Spoonful. That's what it's called. Definitely worth checking that song out if you haven't. Probably my favorite song by them. So they don't make it. And also That's Life by Frank Sinatra as well. Really love that song, but doesn't make it. God, yeah. Narrowing this down to 10 was tough, but number 10, maybe I can get some street cred back. I didn't like this album as much as you two do, or anybody on planet Earth, but I do have Nina Simone in my top 10. And my number 10 is What More Can I Say, which, speaking of songs that defy being spoken about, like the arrangement is incredible. It just reaches such an emotional climax, and for a song under 3 minutes, like, it's incredible the way it evolves throughout, and it's just so emotional. The orchestration is gorgeous. Probably my favorite Nina song that I know, but yeah, love it. Number 9, Dusty Springfield with You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, which Vanessa sent me a playlist of the best songs of 1966 on Tidal or whatever, and this was on it. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this song. It is an all-time classic. I think it is one of the best vocal performances of the year. It's incredible. That chorus is awesome. Yeah, amazing song. Number 8, Gordon Lightfoot with Steel Rail Blues. Just pretty much a perfect folk song. I listened to this so much this past week. If you gave me another week, it'd probably climb up the list even more. But a lot of these songs I've had a lot of time with. So yeah, this and the one just above it are like my listen to this song because this song rules. So yeah, number 8, Steel Rail Blues, amazing. Number 7, Buffalo Springfield with Flying on the Ground is Wrong, which is my favorite new discovery from this. I first heard it and I was like, that sounds really familiar, and I'm not sure what it is. And then I was like, oh my God, it's Swingin' Party by the Replacements. It's exactly the same. And then I go on the Wikipedia for Swingin' Party, and guess what? Paul Westerberg was listening to this song when he decided to write Swingin' Party. It is directly influenced. And when you listen to it knowing that, it's like uncanny. It's like listening to Swingin' Party. It's as if it was a sample, which doesn't make me like Swingin' Party any less. But yeah, great song. And it really shows Neil Young's early knack for songwriting. And there's a really cool piano ballad version on one of Neil Young's live albums that I really like as well. So yeah, great stuff. Number 6, sorry, no trifecta here. The Byrds, but I'm going with Mr. Spaceman, which is an amazing, fun little pop song. Really good bass line I noticed as well on this listen. Really catchy, just short and sweet. Like it's probably not as like technically interesting and whatever as 8 Miles High, but it's just fun. I love it. So my number 5 is the Isley Brothers with This Old Heart of Mine Is Weak for You. And God damn it, This Old Heart of Mine Is Weak for Motown. Yeah, I had to say it a second time, I know. Pretty much the perfect Motown song. Definitely in my top 5 all-time Motown songs. Like the orchestra and the strings are incredible. The lead vocal is so powerful. The melody's undeniable, like one of the best choruses of the year. Drums are so good on this as well, like just propelling everything. I assume everyone knows this song, but if you don't, it's really worth a listen. Number 4, I'm really not giving you these trifectas. I'm sorry. Bob Dylan. I've gone with One of Us Must Know Sooner or Later, which has always been my favorite on Blonde on Blonde. It would be disingenuous of me to change it just for a silly little trifecta. Probably a top 5 Dylan song for me. I just love the whole band feel. I might be wrong, but I think this was the only song on the album he recorded with the band. The rest of it was done with like session musicians. The highlight for me is the piano that rises up in intensity in the pre-chorus as it gets to that hook, and the absolute power in his voice as he belts it out. So good, so good. Always loved it. Number 3 is my Beatles pick, which means the Beatles don't go back to back on songs like they did with albums. It's And Your Bird Can Sing. Always been one of my favorite Beatles songs. I know it's a bit of an unconventional pick on Revolver because there are a lot of bigger songs on there, but between George's incredible guitar part like that, it's just ridiculous. Like imagine writing that guitar part, it's silly. Paul's bass is awesome. I love John's sort of sneering, piercing lead vocal, which his vocals on this album sound great because he just sounds so annoyed all the time, which works so well with the songs he was writing. But I think the highlight of the song is Paul McCartney's backing vocals. Like, man, they sound amazing. And that final chorus just gives me chills every time. And yeah, for 2 minutes, it is incredible. So, pack so much in. Number 2, Simon and Garfunkel with Homeward Bound. Probably my second favorite Simon and Garfunkel song. Probably one of my all-time favorite songs ever by anybody. But it has to land at number 2 because this is 1966, people. It's been a slow climb with this one. I kind of took it for granted for a while, as I did with the whole Parsley album, but I've grown to love it. And it was used in my favorite show of all time, The Leftovers, in a very impactful way. And then I listened to it like 70 times in a year. So yeah, it was one of those where I was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry for doubting you. You are incredible. And actually, fun little tidbit, my copy of Sounds of Silence is the UK version, which actually has Homeward Bound on the track list. So I think that kind of seals the deal for Sounds of Silence being better. Let me know what you think about that. And my number 1, of course, God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. Will this ever happen again? Song trifecta? I don't think so. I don't think so. Not only the best song of 1966, but for many years, this was my favorite song ever by anybody. Probably now number 2. We'll get to number 1. But being my second favorite song ever, that's pretty good going. There is unreal power to this song, especially the outro. That is just unbelievable. And much like what Vanessa was saying, I was listening to it again and again and again. Actually, when I did my re-listen of Pet Sounds, I was like on Discord while doing it because I was like so familiar with the whole album. And then as soon as this started, I just closed my eyes and just leaned back because I was just like, I can just get lost in the sounds of this song. Is you gotta focus. It's holy. So yeah, I don't think anybody needs selling. We're not the first channel to all pick God Only Knows as the best song of 1966. So maybe there's something to that, but or maybe we're all just sheep wildly overrating it. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, honestly, it also appears in my favorite film of all time, Boogie Nights. Good year for Tom Media, you know. So yeah, I couldn't pick anything else. It was never even in doubt, to be honest. That's 66.
Yeah, that was really the only set thing was that song, basically. And the top 2 albums in some order.
Some fashion. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
you guys were going to pick it. I don't know. Did you know I was going to pick it number 1? I felt like it was pretty obvious.
No, I don't know that I totally did. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I did watch your songs video or your albums video. You know, I watched that, and you probably talked about it specifically, but no, I guess I didn't know it was a shoe-in. I mean, you could probably pick 3 or 4 songs from Pet Sounds, and I would have believed that it was your number 1. Like, honestly, you know, I mean, anyone could, and I would probably believe them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, maybe that's part of the reason why I can't quite get it to like, you know, upper echelon of all-time favorites is because there is one song on it that just completely overshadows everything else for me. And that's not that everything else isn't amazing. It is. It's just like this is my second favorite song ever. You know, it's like how do you compare to that?
that's fair.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think we went a bit longer this time. Hopefully not over half an hour. Maybe we did. Who knows? And yeah, we're going to try and keep these quite short but you know, we want to prioritize discussion as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'd love to see some songs lists. Again, loads of variety in the songs, much more than compared to the albums, and I think that's going to be a bit of a trend. And well, the next thing for us to do is look at 967. I know Vanessa's already started. I haven't even looked yet. It's scary.
Not even a look.
But thanks again, Chris and Vanessa, for joining me on this epic journey that is only just beginning. If you want to be involved, comment, press the bell so you don't miss an upload. And hopefully you'll join us for 1967 in a week's time, where things might get interesting. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully we will see you soon.